what is the probability of something happening? So what's the probability that tomorrow is Saturday, if today's Friday? That's definite, that's certain, that's going to happen. It's a 1 on the probability scale. What is the probability of tomorrow being Monday, if today's Friday? That is 0. That is impossible, okay? Not going to happen. Anything that falls between 0 and 1 is a way to describe probability from impossible to certain. It could be represented by a decimal, it could be represented by a fraction, okay? Equally likely to happen is something that you'd find in the middle there. Something that may be equally likely to happen would be landing on an even number on this spinner. Okay, so what's the chance that I'm going to spin this and it's going to land on an even number? That's 2 and 4. 2 things out of 4 things. 2 out of 4, which is the same as half, equally likely. So what is the formula that actually gets me the probability of something like a spinner occurring? The formula for probability, the probability of an event occurring, and I might write landing on an even number, equals number of favourable outcomes. The thing that we want to happen, it's favourable, it's the thing we're looking for. If we're talking about even numbers, there are 2 favourable outcomes, 2 things that I'm actually looking for, over total number of outcomes. The total things that could show up, there are 4 possible outcomes on the spinner, therefore 2 over 4 simplified down to 1 over 2. Okay, shown as a decimal as 0.5. So the probability of spinning an even number is 0.5, equally likely. Now, let's think if I were to be actually spinning 2 spinners at once. We've got this one from 1 through to 4, and we've got a second spinner that has colours. The colours on this spinner are red, yellow, blue, and green. What's the probability of spinning a red even number? A red and an even number. Okay, now we've got 2 things going on at once, and we need to consider how many times could a red and an even number actually show up. Now, if you're ever looking into probability of two events at once, it's a great idea to use either a 2-way table or a tree diagram. I'm going to be showing you the tree diagram option for this particular scenario. Now, we think about all of the things that could occur initially in the first spin. So I'll look at my top spinner here, and I'll think, what are the things that could actually occur on this top spinner? My first spin could have a 1, 2, a 3, or a 4 come up. I move on to my second spinner, my second event that I'm doing, and I could have any of these colours. So if I were to spin a 1 initially, my second spinner could either get red, yellow, blue, or green. If I were to spin a 2 first, my second spinner could either have a red, yellow, blue, or green. I've shown a tree diagram, quite messily, to show all of the possible outcomes if I were to spin both spinners. Now, I want to actually list it as my sample space so it's easy to read. My first spin could have a 1, my second spinner could have a red. So one of the things that could show up is 1 and red. I could get 1 and yellow. I could get 1 and blue. I could get 1 and green. Listing all of the things that could happen, I could get 2 and red, 2 and yellow. Now this is my sample space, just here, knowing all of the things that I could spin on these 2 spinners. If I were to flick them, one after another or at the same time, I could have all of these things show up. Now my initial question was, what's the probability of getting a red and an even number? So let's actually notice when a red and an even actually happen. Red with a 1, nope, not red and even. Moving through to 2, red and an even number. That's a favourable outcome, it's something that I'm actually looking for. Red and 3, not an even number. Red and 4, and red and an even number. There are 2 times that I could get something that's favourable or the thing I'm actually looking for. Therefore, my formula would be favourable outcomes 2. 2 times that it shows up the things I want. Now, out of the total number of outcomes, how many things could actually occur? Well, I've listed them here. These are the number of things that could show up. 4 lots of 4, that's 16. 2 over 16 is the probability of getting a red even number. make sure that in probability you absolutely always simplify your fraction to 1/8.